Now, friends, it comes down to learning a bit about the types of coatings. The types of coatings determine what kind of coating we will use. So when you select the coating, look, there is a coating type section here. It says generic, it says carpet, so you can choose it as a carpet. The tool icon here, planting, glass meaning window, grass meaning lawn. Self-illumination means turning any object into a light form. And water, friends. Very easy. For example, you select this to turn any object into a light object. Very simple. Let's do it, for example. Let's do an example, friends. Look now. For instance, this object. An object that sits properly. Let's say it's a toy, for example. Let's say the light on its head emits this color. I went to the coating section. I selected the self-illumination part from the generic section. Look, it gives light at a value of 5,000 lux. Let's proceed. Look, friends, as you can see, it immediately turned into light. You can turn any surface into light. This is how the process works. Very simple. Look, there's a critical point. Let me mention it. There's a difference between the color of the light and the object's own color. You should choose the light color yourself from here. Look, how does it change the moment I select it, friends? Like this. And you can increase the amount of light here. There can be such an amount of light. To make any object light, you need to select the self-illumination, coating type. All the parts here are related to that, friends. So, selecting the objects in this part here is all related to that. Look, it's selected. It's selected here too. This pipe has been made. Light intensity has been given to the pipe. The surrounding parts are glass objects. Look, glass has been applied. Here it's as if metal has been applied. There are such situations. Very simple and very easy, friends. That's why I showed it in the modeling section here. When you select the color you have applied there and say self-illumination, it becomes a light source, just like here. Like in the spotlights. I mean, this image in the spotlights. Look, let me show you like this. Let me take it with the eyedropper tool. Let me select from here. Look, I think that part is underneath here. Look, it says self-illumination. Because the image underneath is self-illuminated and a light intensity of 100,000 is given to it, friends, it emits light. Let's go back by saying Ctrl-Z. Let me close this as well by right-clicking, friends. Let's come to scene 2 here. This is the process. Look, it has been done the same way here. A light intensity has been given to the back of the glass. And that light has been given a self-illumination effect, friends. Look, when we look here, the amounts of light are visible, but I will show you how the lights here are made. We also have a dark situation here. So when you take a render from here, a dark situation appears there again. Because there isn't enough light inside, we will do them as supportive. In this section, I only talked about making any object as light intensity, friends. Very easy and very simple. By trying this method, you can turn any object into light intensity. So, by creating any model from here, let me show you like this. You came here and drew a square. Then you lifted this square upwards like this. Afterwards, you selected these surfaces. Let's say you gave these a surface on the level like this. You applied a bending process like this. It turned out a bit crooked, though. You selected the object from here and assigned any color from the color section here, let's say. When you assign a color, look, it will show it here. You selected this with the eyedropper tool from here and activated it. Then you said self-illumination from here, and it appeared here as light intensity. Look, friends, let's come right away. As you can see, it appeared as such a light intensity. That's the whole thing. If you want to give light intensity to the object you have drawn, or change its color, you can do so from the color section here, from the color palette, or by using RGB, HSV codes here. It works very simply. It works very easily, friends. It's a process like this. In the carpet and other sections, you can select this carpet section. Look, let me show you that right away since we're here. In the carpet section, it works more like a shaggy carpet. Let's do it like this. Let's select this spot. From the generic section, look, where is our carpet? I selected it as carpet. There are variations here. Let me show you right away, friends. Look, from here, from the slightly brighter part, you can make changes regarding these variations and lowering it. It doesn't work very efficiently, but it's still a lifesaver. For example, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. It tightens and shrinks thoroughly. It works a bit better in terms of rendering. I mean, it works a bit differently. When you look at it like this, friends, you see such a system. It's actually about whether it meets your needs or not. But otherwise, when you remove it, the process completes itself. So, when you make it generic, look, when you reset it from here, you can reassign it as a texture in a straightforward process. So, within itself, Enscape has its own textures. I will also show how to change those textures